This video is for you if you want to learn more about the world of Tesla stock splits. Tesla stock split 5 for 1 in 2020 at a price of $2,000 per share. August 2022, 2 years later, saw a 3 for 1 split at a price of $900 per share. However, what if I told you that the 2024 stock split might be the next one? What if there was a way to use the information of the stock split to strategically buy shares in order to cash out? Before we begin, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons and to tell your friends about this video if they're interested in earning a significant amount of money. Shall we get started now? It's crucial to understand that a stock split and a share buyback are not the same thing. By splitting a company's current shares into several shares, a stock split effectively lowers the price per share while maintaining the company's total value. In contrast, a share buyback occurs when a business buys back its shares from its owners, thereby lowering the total number of existing shares and raising the value of each share that remains. In recent years, Tesla has split its shares and repurchased others. August 2020 saw the company's first stock split, with each share being divided 5 for 1 at a cost of $2,000 each. August 2022 saw another stock split, this time for $900 per share, splitting the equity 3 for 1. Given that some investors found it difficult to participate in Tesla due to the higher share price prior to the splits, the purpose of these stock splits was to increase the accessibility of the company's shares to a larger pool of potential buyers. Regarding repurchasing shares, Tesla has carried out multiple similar transactions in the last few years. The corporation declared in March 2019 that it would repurchase $2 billion worth of shares over the next 2 years. This was viewed as a means of demonstrating confidence in the company's long-term prospects and providing value to shareholders. Tesla revealed a second share repurchase program in February 2021, this time for up to $5 billion worth of shares. It's hard to predict for sure if there will be another stock split in 2024. Companies usually announce stock splits in response to a range of circumstances, such as general market conditions, the company's stock price, and the company's stock objectives. Although it's conceivable that Tesla will announce another stock split in the upcoming years, it's impossible to say for sure right now. It's important to keep in mind that buying shares deliberately in order to cash out after learning of a company split is a risky and speculative tactic. When a firm will announce a stock split, is impossible to forecast with any degree of precision, and even if it does, there's no assurance that the price of the shares will rise further after the announcement. Prior to making any judgments, as with any investing strategy, it's critical to conduct in-depth research and take all pertinent elements into account. There are a few intriguing details regarding how Tesla handles its stock splits to think about before we dive into estimates and numbers. As I've previously stated, when Tesla first split its stock, a share was worth $2,000. It was more like $1,000 per share the second time around. This implies that the business would rather stay away from 4-digit stock values. What could possibly motivate a firm that owns shares to desire 4-digit stock prices? Google and Amazon split their equity 24-1, but that doesn't make sense. Shares worth thousands still exist. Rather, it is anticipated that the next Tesla stock split would occur in the upper hundreds, or approximately $800 per share. And further intriguing information is that following a stock split, the corporation wants to keep share prices above $200 with a lower bound of $300. Thus, this is a rather important point to take into account going forward. Although it's anticipated that there will be closer to 20 million new cars on the road in 2030, initial estimates put that figure at 14 million. Since we don't know how many customers are paying the entire FSD price each month or what our FSD subscription numbers are, we'll start with an EPS estimate of $45 for 2030, assuming that 15% of newly sold vehicles will convert to or pay the full FSD amount. While some might view that as bullish, Tesla's earlier year success may have stunned us. We already have the answer for 2020 at a P of about 50 by calculating the stock prices in the date of the stock split. Even though we're still in a bear market and the PE for 2023 is currently about 60, that's still a really good PE. Please click the like and subscribe buttons if you're interested in learning more about Tesla stock splits and the company's production and delivery data estimates. Many factors, including as market movements, interest rates, inflation, and Fed policy, are involved in determining Tesla's future. Despite this uncertainty, I believe that by the end of this year, or at least halfway through, we will be in a bull market, and that Tesla's PE for 2020 and 23 will be around 50. Gary Black projects that the company's stock price will reach approximately $370 per share in the future, giving it an absurd P of 74 and a $1.2 trillion valuation. Even while I believe a more realistic P of 50 would place the stock price at about $400, there's always a chance that in a bull market, the market could get irrational and push prices higher than they truly should. Fear and conjecture can influence buying and selling decisions more than true fundamentals. Even while companies like Netflix, Tesla, and Meta can print money, if fear takes hold, their stock values could drop by 80%. In the event that Tesla splits its shares, the price per share might fall to about $200, which would raise the stock price by a factor of 4. But I believe that after a stock split, the price of the stock will probably drop to about 40 per year in 2026 and 70p in 2025. Unless there is a significant invention that propels Tesla equities to higher levels, I don't see Tesla's PE climbing much past the low 20s for the remainder of this decade and the first half of the next. I estimate that during the next 10 years, the average P for this ticker will be in the low 30s and around the mid 50s. When is Tesla going to divide its stock? Although it's difficult to predict with certainty, my goal is a PE 60 for $300 per share in 2023. By 2024, the stock price should be approximately $400, and the P should be 50. With a P of 45, the price may fall to $45 in 2025, and with a P of 40, it may reach almost $700 in 2026. Considering all of these predictions, I think that Tesla will have 2 significant stock splits at the very least in the upcoming years, depending on growth. This might happen as early as 2024. Even though it's impossible to know the future for sure, I feel reasonably confident in my forecasts and forward to observe how this turns out in practice. Although some analysts believe this, it is quite improbable that Tesla will divide its shares very soon. Rather, the next potential split date may be when the stock hits $500 to $600 per share, which could occur in the early years of the 2030s or at the end of this decade. Anywhere between 2025 and 2027 would be a good time to divide, but I think 2026 would be the best. For anyone considering purchasing now before a repurchase occurs during a stock split, we would also like to clarify that while the quantity of shares increases and the price per share lowers accordingly, the total value of an investor's holding stays the same. Consequently, an investor's investing objectives and the particulars of the split will determine how many shares they need to acquire in order to maximize their profit. During a stock split, an investor who had 100 shares prior to the split will now own 200 shares following the split, for instance, if a corporation announces a 2-for-1 stock split. However, the value of their holdings will stay the same. An investor's holdings will be worth twice as much as they were before to the split if the stock price doubles following the split. Generally speaking, during a stock split, holding more shares may yield a higher return on investment. Nevertheless, it's crucial to keep in mind that investing entails risk and that profit is never guaranteed. Furthermore, before making an investment, investors should take the company's prospects and overall performance into account. Stock splits are not the only element that impacts a company's share value. It makes sense for Tesla to maintain its stock price at 3 figures in order to make it more affordable for the average individual, even though stock splits are unpredictable. In the upcoming years, let's wait and see how successfully this forecast comes to pass. I have a good feeling that it will hold steady. I appreciate you seeing. Remember to subscribe and like this material if you liked it. We appreciate your patience once more, and we hope to see you in the future video. Yield a higher return on investment. Nevertheless, it's crucial to keep in mind that investing entails risk and that profit is never guaranteed. Furthermore, before making an investment, investors should take the company's prospects and overall performance into account. Stock splits are not the only element that impacts a company's share value. It makes sense for Tesla to maintain its stock price at 3 figures in order to make it more affordable for the average individual, even though stock splits are unpredictable. In the upcoming years, let's wait and see how successfully this forecast comes to pass. I have a good feeling that it will hold steady. I appreciate you seeing. Remember to subscribe and like this material if you liked it. We appreciate your patience once more, and we hope to see you in the future video.